When a modern air defense launcher swivels into position, it looks like an impenetrable wall. These networks cost billions to build and are explicitly designed to shoot down anything that enters their airspace. Recently, Iran tested those massive grids by launching a coordinated wave of kamikaze drones and ballistic missiles directly at American and Israeli targets across the Middle East. If you read the official reports, the defense networks, powered by systems like the Iron Dome and David Sling, which are mobile air defense systems designed to intercept incoming rockets, successfully stopped about 97% of the threats. On paper, that registers as a definitive victory, but inside military situation rooms, that near-perfect interception rate set off immediate alarm bells. The problem is not the accuracy of the technology, it is the brutal financial burn rate required to keep that shield active. We are seeing a real-time shift where $20,000 smart strategies are winning against multi-million-dollar smart bombs. Forcing an adversary to drain their military budget in a matter of days is proving to be just as lethal as bombing their cities. To understand where this cheap arsenal came from, we have to look back to December 2011. An American RQ-170 Sentinel, a highly advanced stealthy surveillance drone used by the CIA, crashed inside Iranian territory. The United States government initially denied the hardware was theirs, but eventually admitted the loss and officially asked for the drone back. Iran, completely isolated by international sanctions, refused. Instead, they took the captured drone apart, reverse-engineered its internal systems, and used those insights to develop their own fleet. The most famous result is the Shahed 136, a simple, low-cost kamikaze drone designed to crash into a target and detonate. The United States accidentally provided the exact technological blueprint that a heavily sanctioned nation would later use to push America's own defense grids to the brink of exhaustion. The Shahed 136 is remarkably basic. It is mass-produced, runs on a commercial dual-engine setup, and costs roughly $20,000 to manufacture. Compare that to the hardware required to shoot it down. To stop a Shahed drone, the U.S. and its allies rely on interceptors launched from a Patriot missile battery or an Arrow system, which are highly sophisticated, long-range surface-to-air defense missiles. This chart shows the direct financial comparison of a single interception. On one side, you have the $20,000 cost of the incoming drone. On the other side, the United States spends between $1 million and $15 million to launch an interceptor to destroy it. Because of that massive gap, a sustained drone attack forces the defending country to burn through years of expensive inventory in a matter of hours. As you can see, the multi-million-dollar stockpile drops toward zero, while the cheap drones keep flying. When the shield costs 100 times more than the sword, asymmetric economics take over. Every successful mid-air explosion actually registers as a devastating financial defeat for the defender. Iran actively exploits this math using a volley firing strategy, a tactical doctrine where different types of weapons are launched simultaneously. Step 1 involves sending swarms of cheap, low-flying decoy drones to deliberately force the enemy to fire off their expensive interceptors. Once the defense systems are distracted, Step 2 begins. The attackers target the multi-million-dollar early warning rays, like the AN/FPS-132. This is a massive, highly sensitive space operations and early warning radar used by the U.S. Space Force. Blinding it cripples the entire defense network. Finally, with the radars blind and the interceptors exhausted, Step 3 is executing the real strike. They launch their advanced heavy weapons, like the hypersonic Fatah II missile. Hypersonic weapons travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound, making them nearly impossible to stop without the radar and interceptors that were just depleted. This strategy extends to psychological guerrilla warfare. During recent escalations, Israel spent millions of dollars flying jets to bomb enemy aircraft on Iranian tarmacs, only to realize later they had struck highly precise two-dimensional paintings on the concrete. Absolute technological superiority is largely an illusion if it can be systematically dismantled by cheap plastic, basic decoys, and ruthless arithmetic. Global military supremacy is now determined by the ability to mass-produce good enough weapons at scale, replacing reliance on a few high-tech systems. This poses a severe question for India's current defense procurement mentality. As India continues to rely heavily on expensive, imported military technology, are they prepared to face an era of cheap swarm warfare? One critical vulnerability lies in recent spending decisions. India recently allocated $3.5 billion to purchase 31 American-made MQ-9B Predator drones. These are high-end, extremely sophisticated unmanned aerial vehicles, primarily used for long-term surveillance and targeted strikes. This chart illustrates the extreme difference in volume that same budget can buy. For the exact same $3.5 billion spent on 31 Predators, India could have manufactured an astounding 70,000 low-cost kamikaze drones. There are signs of adaptation. A domestic startup recently unveiled the Sheshnag 150, a long-range kamikaze drone currently in its testing phase. Investing heavily in projects like this is a necessary step toward building a mass-produced, cost-effective arsenal. Future wars will not be won by the nation with the deepest pockets, but by the nation with the smartest production lines. If India ignores the brutal math of modern warfare, its trillion-dollar defense dreams will be bankrupted in a matter of days.